What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com coming to you with a little Cadillac cam, little car action today. I didn't think that I was going to be able to do a free play. Like I told you last week on one of my free play videos that Monday and Tuesday there would not be any videos just due to having to do a lot of running around, meetings, little day traveling, stuff like that. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but finished up some afternoon work. Got the plays out a little earlier than I thought that I would because information was there. So I decided to bust one out in the car. That way I could give you a free play. We're going to go back to the MLB. Now, I've been asked about a lot of these games for tonight, and I really like the slate of games for tonight. So we're going to go over a couple of things. I'll give you an official free play. First and foremost, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because again, we do videos almost every day, but they go up at different times. There's no set time, and you don't want to miss out on them. And then smash the like button for us, guys. Let us know you appreciate all the free content and free plays that we give you. It means more to us than you know. So first off, since you haven't seen me since Saturday night, let me give a huge congrats to all of the soccer clients and all the all-access clients and everyone that purchased Jerry's soccer game of the week. Now, last week, he had a big soccer game of the week winner, and I told you all week long since this game was posted, this one was even bigger. This one could have, in my opinion, the way that he was doing the numbers and looking at what made the cut, I think it could have been a game of the month. But he kept it a game of the week. Promised you it was going to be a blowout, and it was. It was an absolute blowout, a shutout. The team that he favored didn't even allow the other team to score. It was an absolute, no doubt, easy from start to finish winner, as we promised it would be. So congratulations to everyone who jumped on that game of the week and cashed in big. Now, we're probably looking at another big game in soccer. Jerry and I spoke about it yesterday. He told me some things that he was looking at, a couple of things that he still wants to confirm just to make absolute sure. But we're hoping that either tonight or tomorrow this game will get released and it's for later in the week, so you'll have plenty of time to wager it. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. That way you can get notified. If you're already a client or have been in the past and you're on the email list, you'll be notified there as well. We'll put it up on social media. We'll make sure that everyone knows about the game of the week or month, whichever it pans out to be, and if and when it happens. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. For today, if you want an all sports pass, we're bringing it back. We're cutting them 50% off. You can get an all sports pass. This includes Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, soccer. You get all of it. 3 days, $50. 7 days, $99. 30 days, $399. And we also dropped the 30-day all-access pass by $200 so you can get it for $499. And guys, the all-access passes even include NASCAR, they include horse racing, and they also include every game of the week, month, or year in every sport that we have during your subscription time. So if you don't want to have to purchase those big game of the weeks or months, get on an all-access pass and they come with it. It's the only thing that comes with that. So make sure you take a look at that. Everything's already set on the site. You don't need any coupon code or anything like that. So check that out. Now, I laid off of Major League Baseball on Monday. Told everybody on the email list exactly why I did so. And it wasn't because there wasn't any good matchups out there. To be honest with you, there were 2 games that I had all but locked in before pitching and bullpen changes were made. Now, when those changes were made, I did, and we look at this 2 ways, guys. For the team's sake, and the sake of looking at it from a baseball standpoint, from a management standpoint, from a longevity standpoint, as they're trying to plan their week out ahead, I 100% agree with the decisions they made, the changes they made, and I think that they were the correct decisions. But again, we're not in the business of saying that the team made the right decision based on what they have coming up in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 days. We're looking at it from a betting standpoint, from an investment standpoint, from a money standpoint. And those changes did not coincide with what we wanted or what we needed for it to fit the bill of a premium play or a top play. So I laid off. I'm not going to force a play just for the sake of saying I can give one to you. A lot of cappers will. I won't. But today, I watched every single game last night. I was up till 3:30 this morning watching every single game in its entirety, and I was also looking at what the teams had put in place to go through this week with. Now, again, things can and will change throughout the week because you don't know how certain games are going to go. How deep are they going to have to go into a bullpen? How many relievers? How many closers? Are they going to have closers? Are they going to have a true bullpen day where they put in a spot starter and let the bullpen take over? You're never going to know that on a Monday. All you're going to be able to do is say, okay, this is what we're laying the groundwork for. This is what we hope to do. And if everything goes correctly, nothing gets thrown in that changes something, this will be what happens. And almost never is there a time when at least one change isn't made throughout the week. But it set us up for a beautiful Tuesday. I have 4 premium plays. They're already on the site. They're already posted. They have been for a few hours now. Jerry's got 1 soccer play up. I've also got 2 NHL premium picks up. One that I absolutely love. It almost made top play. But I'm still working on the NBA. I have 2 games in the NBA that, again, have all but made the premium card. I'm just waiting on confirmation on 2 players. Well, actually 3 players. 2 on one team, 1 on another team. And that will be the deciding factor as to whether or not I release both of these plays, one of these plays, or maybe neither of these plays onto the premium card. Horse racing will be back on Wednesday. There was going to be horse racing on Tuesday night, but the track that Rich was looking at, there was a bad rainstorm about an hour ago, and he said track conditions are just way too unpredictable, so we're not going to force anything. So that's where it lies. Now, I have been asked by quite a few people about a handful of games. I can't talk about 2 of them because they are on the card already. Well, I can't talk about all these games because all of them are on the card. But I'm going to give you one that I like, and that's the Cubs and the Mets. Now, right now, depending on what book you use, you can get this game at 7.5 or even 7. Now, I've only seen a couple of 7s out there, and they're with books that I wouldn't usually consider to be accredited, if I can put it that way. They're offshore books. I don't typically recommend them, but there are a couple 7s out there. So if you can get it, God bless you. But 7.5 is going to be your consensus pretty much across the board. In Vegas, in New Jersey, pretty much any brick and mortar book you go to or any accredited offshore book, you're going to see 7.5 as your total. Jake Arrieta's going up. Now, everybody knows how I feel about Jake Arrieta. I have always had a soft spot for him and always will because I am a Cubs fan, and he was one of the very big factors in that team winning a World Series in 2016 and getting very close in 2015. Now, anybody that really follows baseball and has for a long time, and they really watch these pitchers, when Jake Arrieta came out of college, when he came out of TCU, and he came into the major leagues, he went through the minor leagues, and he finally made his debut with Baltimore. The one problem that Arrieta had was not velocity. It wasn't power. It wasn't even his arsenal of pitches. It was command. He's the only pitcher that I've ever seen that can truly throw 5 different pitches and do it with success. The problem is he cannot find command over all those pitches at the same time. So he dropped his pitch arsenal down to 4 fairly early in his career. Problem is, he would still have some command issues. If his fastball was doing great, his off-speed stuff, his changeups, his breaking balls, he didn't have command over them. Vice versa, he gets command over the breaking stuff, the off-speed stuff, and his fastballs really fall off. So that was Jake's problem. And then in 2015, about halfway through the season, command took over. He found his rhythm. He found his sweet spot. And that carried all the way on through 15, all the way on through 2016 when they won a World Series. He pitched a no-hitter in Cincinnati. And it carried all the way into about the first quarter of 2017. And then he started to fall off again. We all thought, okay, this is the end of his career is nearing. Well, then he went to Philadelphia in a trade. I didn't agree with that. I never thought that would be a good spot for him. And now he's back with Chicago. I don't think this will be a long-term move. I didn't overly agree with it, but I'm never going to turn my nose up at Jake Arrieta. And he's done well since he's been back. But if you've noticed, there's still been some command issues. Now, luckily for Jake, the times that he's pitched so far in 2021 have been against less than stellar lineups, or even when you could say that it's an above average lineup or above average batters, they just haven't been on point. So he's kind of gotten the benefit of everything. I don't think Jake Arrieta will ever be what he was in 2015 and 16. I've said that many times. But I also don't think that right now the New York Mets are living up to near the hype that they should, even their talent level. But what do we know about one key piece to that lineup that will have overwhelming effects to what can be done in that locker room, in that clubhouse, to get people ready for this pitcher? Well, remember who Jake Arrieta had to face in the 2016 World Series. That was Francisco Lindor. Now, again, that was 2016. This is 2021. Things change. Francisco's with a new team. Obviously, Jake's had a few more years on his arm, but he knows where Jake shines, and it's not necessarily with power or command. It's with intimidation. If you're going to crowd that plate, he'll move you off of it, and there's nobody better at doing that. You're not going to crowd the plate with Arrieta on the mound, or he will move you off that plate, because you don't want to be hit with someone that can throw as hard as he can consistently. But he knows how to hit Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta knows it. And one thing about Arrieta in his career is when he knows there's somebody walking up to the plate that can hit him, that has hit him, that will hit him, I think that gets in his head, and he usually leaves something hanging over the plate. And he doesn't necessarily give up a lot of home runs, but he'll give up a lot of base hits. The problem with a lot of base hits is now we're in a hitter-friendly ballpark in Chicago, in Wrigley. The weather has been back and forth, so we don't really know what the wind's going to do tonight, but I know the wind's not going to be blowing hard enough to prevent sure-shot home runs from staying in the park. If the ball's hit hard enough to be a home run, it's going to be a home run. And I really do believe that the wind is going to play a factor in hitting on the home run side of things versus keeping things in the park. You have two lineups with just too much talent not to generate offense, and two pitchers that are middle of the road at best. What did I say on Saturday night's video about Sunday night baseball at Wrigley with Atlanta and Chicago, Hendricks going up on the mound? I told you, and hopefully you listened, you better read between the lines, there will be a ton of offense. I gave you the over as a pick. I gave it to you clear as day. And in the first inning, 8 runs were scored. Guys, there's nobody that knows this park like I do. I'm not saying that this will be the same thing, but it's going to take both of these teams being just ice cold at the plate for offense not to be generated. Period. You have 2 above average lineups when it comes to talent and power and ability, and 2 average pitchers where it comes to where they're at in their careers and how they've been doing. Good games, bad games, take that out of the equation. Look at the overall numbers that they have. They're just not elite. I'm sorry. And you're not going to go out there with average pitchers and above average talent in a very hitter-friendly ballpark with more than likely some wind blowing out and 2 teams that want to be aggressive at the plate. These teams are not generating offense like they should. So you're going to go out there and see them try to be aggressive, try to get offense. They need to start building on this. 7.5 is just too low. Now, at William Hill, we were able to buy that 7.5 down to 7 and only lay $1.35. If you can lay $1.45 or less by buying it down to the even number of 7, I want you to do so. Give yourself the chance to push, and 7 obviously is better than 7.5. That's what I want you to do. If you have to take 7.5, lower your wager just a little bit, maybe just ever so slightly smaller than a premium play. But if you can get the 7, or you can buy it down to 7 for a reasonable number, I want you to take over 7 runs as a premium play with confidence. Chicago, New York, over 7 runs tonight in Major League Baseball. Arrieta on the mound, and that is your free play. There's 4 MLB plays up on the card for today. 2 NHL, 1 soccer. NBA still being worked on. I'll let you know once I get some more information on the 2 games that I'm looking at. But there's going to be a big day. Go get on half price all sports passes. Jump on it. Big game coming up later this week, and we'll see you guys in the winner circle.